Right, we're back here for our second feature match tonight, but it's also a con match here for leadership of the Jeskai clan. So much like the Jeskai have been doing, every con has abdicated his position and allowed two new challengers to take their shot at glory here. So we have Marley, who's playing his first feature match against Bob P, and Raphael's about to tell us about this seeming to be an unfortunate mulligan there for Bob. You there?
Yeah, I
Okay.
had some lag on my part. Repeat that one part one more time. I wasn't sure if that was you or my computer.
Oh, we were just about to talk about Bob's hand and the unfortunate mulligan.
I missed the mulligan, but I can see the hand now.
Yeah.
It's coming out of Mardu Horchief, and he's got on the Alabaster Kieran, the Bellowing, Saddle Bruiser, a Swamp, and then a Feet of Resistance. What's Marley looking like?
All right. So Marley took a mulligan as well. It was not a mulligan to five though. He has a what ends up being a pretty scary card here with the Ghost Fireblade. 4/4 attacking on turn four is well above expectation in this set. You know, nowadays you got a 4/4 attacking on turn four. It's ordinary, but definitely above ordinary here.
What
Yeah,
do you think?
so
Do you think the Ghost Fire Blade's a good card to have in the 60?
I mean, if you are morph deck, it's busted. If your deck is like more in the white in the Mardu realm of aggression, you're still going to play morph, so I think it's still good. Equip three is a bit too much. I mean, it could be good in the late game if you have a bunch of 1/1 little warrior tokens, but best used in a deck that has a lot of morphs, but pretty good in all of them. And looks like Marley's got a warrior, at least centric deck here. Chief of the Scale in play, Chief of the Edge drawn for turn, and then has Kill Shot in hand, but
Oh,
also End Hostilities, which is the 5 mana board wipe here.
that might come out be pretty clutch. What's the creature under the morph?
Oh, I believe it's the Master of Pearls, the rare that gives everything +2/+2 when it flips out for five.
Okay,
Yeah,
what's the morphing flipping cost in that bad boy?
it's five, much like
Okay,
most of the good morphs. Yeah, so
so
no, we were
probably one.
saying before the just at the beginning that the Jeskai every con abdicates their position and allows two new challengers to take it. They are monastic people. They're not interested in the financial gains of the position of con. They're just there
This
to
is
pass it on to the Jeskai students of the world.
Hey, listen, it's a kind of way of doing things. This is interesting to me that Marley's probably gonna go for a huge attack.
Yeah,
Bob did draw a kill shot a time ago, but
we got
sadly
a
he tapped in a way where he won't be able to use it.
yeah. This is going to be a pretty. I mean, pretty at least like a bit of a shrewd block there with the 2/2/3s. So only one of them will die, but Bob's losing two of his creatures and. Marley's losing zero and dealing five damage. So
Well,
advantage bar sliding towards this end of the.
Bob can save two of his creatures if he
Oh
does
yeah.
Feat of Resistance on
Oh okay.
one of the 2/3s. So all the damage will pretty much go to that one with one sinking over to the other one. So they would kill the 5/5, and then Bob would just have to give up his 4/5, and then he can save his kill shot for
Okay.
next turn.
Okay. So it does have a feat of resistance. Okay, pretty decent.
And
So
hostilities is still going to not be very happy. I don't think Bob's going to be happy to see that card.
yeah, because did he draw anything interesting for turn here? I guess he
So
must
we're
have.
going to see it now. Bitter
Oh, perfect.
Revelation. I
Yeah.
would think he takes the land here, and then he has debilitating and another feat of resistance. So looks like he's going to take the feat and then the planes to hold up kill shot.
Yeah, the debilitating is quite bad here because any morph drawn by Marley can be made into a 4/4 instantly.
Yeah,
So
with the ghost blade.
yeah, so not so great over there. So he's going to offer the trade here for the flyer if Bob wants to take it, but we know kill shot is waiting on the other side.
Yes, and then
Um,
probably an end hostilities coming down.
I don't know if this is enough to bring out the end hostilities. Like it's just a 2 for 2. Um, he can equip his chief. He's at 17, right? So he can equip his chief of the scale, meaning Horde Chief can attack. He could take three for a couple hits and see if Bob decides to put one or two more creatures in play before end
Ah,
hostilities.
Bob might put another one, so I
Um,
guess waiting was the right choice. He just drew the flying scavenger.
See, I would almost just not even use the kill shot here. Like, I'll just take the three
Yeah,
if I
I
know that
think
I
so.
can get it within hostilities. Like, is that like I said, at 17, not the so now the in hostilities is looking pretty good because there's a big clock in the air here.
Yeah.
So he's going to get in the obligatory pre board wipe attack here. As
So I mean, like, there's two thoughts you have, right? When your opponent swings at a time like this, you go, either board wipe or they're trying to get me with like,
or a raid,
yeah,
like he could have like one of the better raid cards. I mean, this is, you know, just to trigger like a medium raid card, no. But if you have one of the better ones, rare or uncommon, might be
I just
able
love this,
to.
this thinking Bob's doing right now. Do I even want to bother?
Yeah. So the other card drawn for Marley, not particularly useful until he has something else in play, is the Kin Tree Invocation. So it's a sorcery where you make a token with power and toughness equal to your highest toughness in play. So he needs to get another creature before that has any text whatsoever. So now we're in the top tech wars here. And Bitter Revelation is a nice thing to draw when you are trying
Oof.
to get card advantage. Right, so
Yeah,
only one spell found from this, unfortunately. There was 3 lands, but it is a pretty good spell here in Battle Priest.
that seems pretty good to me. And I mean, Bob just drew Raksha's Secret, so I
Okay,
mean, you get the last card of the hand, but it doesn't feel good looking at a 3/2 that
yeah,
could have life looking. But I mean, you just die in 2 turns, right? Equip the Ghost Blade, swing, swing.
yeah, it's going to be a 5/4. Yeah,
Yeah,
wow, I'm surprised he didn't make him discard 2 just to get the last card. I mean, he maybe assumes this is a land because he played the ward wipe and then had mana left over and didn't cast anything. So he must assume it's just a land. But oh, he's gonna go for a kill next turn here with making a 6/5 and a 5/5 here.
interesting. I mean,
Well, he said I don't want to go and get kill shotted again. I'd rather just have two things in play because
so for
because
turn,
if he attacks with the battle priest and it gets kill shotted, then his Kintry Invocation has no text. So interesting, playing around a trick here is with the battle priest, but it's just a big old bruiser here, 4/5 saddle brute.
let's see.
Nowadays we get 4 mana 4/5s with like multiple upsides.
Yeah, right.
Uh, we get 4/5s with multiple abilities at uncommon. But
4/5. When you draw a card, gain 2 life. When your opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life. Death touch. Sound about right?
okay, well that's a mythic. But I'm even talking about like in the recent Ixalan we had an uncommon dinosaur with reach and trample, right? 4 mana 4/5. So
Oh, the Panic Altasar,
it was the green uncommon, but
the green uncommon.
yeah, but good. So looking at Marley's deck, it pretty much looks like what we saw. It's an Abzan deck. He does have 3 Abzan guides, which is nice if you're trying to race, and especially good with the Ghost Fire Blade. Also has a Wingmate Rock and a couple nice removals. Bob did say he's trying out a new build here after losing a few games to start the week. So what's he got
Looks
there?
spicy to me. It is Mardu. He's got the is the Skull Runner, the 2 drop that makes your opponent discard
Yeah,
on raid.
Skull
He's got
Hunter.
three.
Yeah.
He's got 3 of those, 3 feet of
Cool.
resistances, 2 Raksha secrets, 3 Horde Chiefs. A lot of 3 ofs. Then
Yeah.
he's got a few of the spicy multicolored cards. He's got the Butcher, and he's decided to stop sideboarding, so I cannot see the rest. But the deck looks pretty good from my view.
Yeah, so Rakshasa Secret, the Mind Rot, is usually a card you don't play in your Mardu decks, like in more like in like draft. Like it doesn't like you just want to affect the board all the time. But that could be just a nod to a lot of the decks being these slow multicolor decks. Um, being able to nab 2 cards out of the hand later in the game seems pretty good. But as a rule, most Mardu decks would not usually be interested. But yeah.
Haha, I was gonna say Bob's gonna need some white if he wants to really make this hand work, and he just drew the dual land to make it
All right.
happen.
So what's he got
The
there?
rest of it is the mountain he played, the swamp, the Raksha secret he's tossing down now, kill shot, horde chief, skull runner, and then the 3/3 scavenger.
Okay.
What's the beauty and the get raw working with?
So just drop 2 lands here, which I would just be like absolutely terrified to do in most cases. I want my lands. Um, yeah, so got Kill Shot, Timely Horde Mate, which not my favorite card, as I was talking about in the previous feature match. The 3/2 that can bring back something into play if you attacked. He's got a Utter End, and then he drew for turn a Hooting Mandrills, which has now been enabled by the Rakshasa secret.
Ooh, well, funnily enough, so Bob drew Soren. Soren for turn.
Okay. You might
I
know a
guess
little something about that card.
I hear it's good. I hear it's good. I
Okay.
guess Bob's looking for a way to defend it, so he'll probably try and swing with the 3/3 if it lives, and then toss out the Horde Chief, and then look to toss out Soren a turn afterwards.
Yeah,
As long as
this is kind of a nightmare scenario for Marley, discarding 2 lands and then not drawing more lands. Like the Timely Horde made in hand and like probably the Kill Shot would have been what I discarded and just kept my lands so I could cast all my spells. And now he's a bit stuck. You know, missing land drops, like I've mentioned many times in these games. Like it feels like a death knell sometimes in this set.
I was going to say, especially this set, like you really want to hit those lands, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like, I've said it many times. Current limited 2023, 2024. Lots of good 2 drops. If you miss your third land drop for a few turns, you could still be very much in the game or even ahead still. But not so much you.
I mean, current day's limit is what, like 6+ 2 drops sometimes, more times than not, and then you just fill out the rest of the curve.
Yeah, and they're all good too. Like the ones in
Yeah.
cons, it's like if you don't have Seeker of the Way and the Chiefs here, most of the 2 drops are pretty poor.
You want some value. Not even an Outlast. Is Marley holding up a kill shot or something?
Yeah, it's the kill shot. It's the
Well, he's.
very visible kill shot here. Yeah,
I'm really surprised he would even swing here, but I guess 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess he wants to get the raid on. Interesting.
yeah. Not playing against not playing around the feet of resistance. This does open up a very cheap Hooting Mandrills next turn.
I just think I thought for sure he would have just dropped the Sorin there, but I guess he wants to get rid of another card from the hand.
Interesting that, like, to me, I'd be instantly discarding this Timely Horde Mate, but instead he's discarding the removal spell, the Utter End. He's gonna be instantly regretting discarding the Utter End here because it's one of the few things that actually kills planeswalkers.
You know what? Slow me. He had enough mana for both. Oops.
Yeah, if you're minusing Sorin, you could play it post combat. If you're plussing it, you want to play it, first thing.
I didn't realize he had the mana to play the skull and the Sorin. I thought he was at 5.
So in an alternate universe where Marley keeps lands from the original discard and keeps the Utter End, we're looking at a bit different game. But right now, it's going to be a rough go here. Uh,
Is oof. This is not going to work out well for Marley.
you know,
Unless Marley has a feat of resistance, there's a kill shot waiting.
yeah. I mean, he's got some good cards in hand, but only being able to cast one at a time. He drew Abzan Charm, which it's nice and flexible, but does not necessarily deal with the problem at hand here. Um, I guess being able to put counters on one of the attacking creatures is useful, but with a kill shot there, we might be ending this soon. So he says attack you with one, attack Soren with the other.
Yeah. Do we see a kill shot on the 3/2, and then
No,
oh,
it's just killing the thing that's attacking the Soren.
fair. I just naturally thought they were both swinging at Soren, but there's no line.
Nope, you just attacked him straight up. He said, "I'll attack the Soren because if they block, I can put counters on my because Abzan Charm, which he's left up here, um, can distribute 2 counters at instant speed. It can also exile a 3 power creature or greater, or draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. So very versatile spell here. And he said, "I'm putting 2 counters on my guy.
Yeah, I mean Bob definitely didn't see this one. Hence why he swung out there.
Kill the Soren, and then unfortunately not an incredible follow up here. But he could play Abzan Guide face down, or he could play the Rattle Mystic as well. So you can go for
I mean,
Abzan Guide. Can't flip it
Bob
on
doesn't
next turn.
really have good follow up here himself, though. He's drawn 3 or 4 lands for turn now.
I mean, this this vampire will end the game. You know.
Yeah, if Marley can't find any removal.
Oh well, did not find removal, but found an Abzan Falconer, which does give all your creatures
Wow.
with +1 counters on them flying. But he's gonna play the Rattleclaw Mystic here to potentially be able to cast 2 things next turn.
Well, this can help.
Perfect.
So Bob has access to Dead Drop, of course. Then he grabs another Bitter Revelation.
Okay.
Just start churning through real quick.
Yeah,
Ah!
looked like Marley had some tools here to potentially come back, but the dead drop is gonna put all that on hold. Goes
Yeah,
down
Bob
to
is working
3, and
overtime
then
here.
it goes down
3
to
Bitter
3,
Revelation.
and now another bitter. Oof.
Mardu, 2 Rough Riders, a Skull Hunter, and a Kin. But he'll just take the Rough Rider and the Hunter.
Yeah, with 3 mana here, I mean, Wingmate Rock drawn for the turn, a nice one, but
It's
you know,
good.
he had the 5 lands, but yeah, sadly 2 of them got put in the graveyard early, and he quite literally never drew another land the entire game, which is highly unlikely.
Bob is all about that discard. All about it.
I feel like he could just concede here without showing another Abzan guide, but all right. Yeah, there's no draw in this set that can come back with the mana that he has. So unfortunate one there. We see Bob working a plan there, playing some basically just a lot of 2-for-1s, right?
I mean, honestly, he just instantly goes, you know what? I kind of like how the game went. Let me go to game 3. I personally be right back. Give me 1 second. My dog got stuck. I can hear him.
Oh no. So yeah, Marley he did take out a kill shot for what looked like a disowned ancestor. Maybe just have an early blocker here. You get the other options. He does have 3 Rush of Battles. Um, doesn't I mean does have a few warriors, but not like a huge amount. He's more on the. I mean, he has the warrior lords. He's has a lot of +1 counter stuff too. But Rush of Battle actually doesn't seem that bad. All right, so back into the game here. All right, so a game 3 here to decide the leadership of the Jeskai.
Who do you got your money on?
Uh, I'm
Or are
not
you
I'm
impartial?
I'm not a betting man. So
Your name's not the Detroit Lions coach. Did Marley make any changes?
he took out a kill shot, I believe, and put in a disowned ancestor, the 0/4. But other than
That's
that, not too much going on. And I do. I mean, the first hand. I mean, it was a 2-lander and then a 2-lander, so I get it. Um, Keeping a 2-lander is something I basically never want to do. So in this set, so we're going down to 5 here with 1 land. So it's going to be a bit of a rough go. What Bob
that's
got going
very
on.
rough. That's very rough. Bob planes for turns, 2 swamps, a mountain, and a bloodstained mire with a seeker of the way, a kill shot, and the swarm of the is it bloodgas? Bloodgeist? The
The
five
swarm of blood flies. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it's like after a really fun first game, a shame to see it end with this mulligan to 5 here and potentially not hitting lands. So the choice
I
here
mean,
is between outlasting or playing the Chief of the Edge, which is the warrior lord that pumps power.
well, Bob just drew the perfect follow up.
I mean,
Now, this
yeah,
1/5 can block the ground pretty well as long as it doesn't swing into the kill shot.
okay.
Bob doesn't really have any follow up unless he draws into something.
I mean, Falconer here is nice. I don't know if he'll necessarily have time to start outlasting. Depend what Bob does, and Bob does nothing. So
Yeah, I mean, this Falconer also stops the swarm from swinging later on, also. So
yeah, so now suddenly we got 5 power flying in play from a mulligan to 5 with not too much going on to and now the Bondkin is drawn, which is going to give them first strike as well.
And
So
all Bob has is a kill shot and 3 lands. So this is still
all right,
anything can happen here.
yeah, he's clawing his way into this. You know, he has two 4 drops and a 5 drop in hand, so nothing of present consequence other than the Bondkin, which is nice for the first strike.
Yeah, I found with these Outlast decks that give like multiple different key texts, if
Yeah.
you don't have removal to like pick them apart or to stop certain keywords like mid combat, it's a little difficult.
Yeah, and some of them snowball pretty hard, like, flying plus lifelink or death touch plus first strike. Like, these are just things that are almost impossible to fight against, truly.
And Bob is kind of stuck now until Marley decides to swing.
Like, how do you fight against the combination of death touch and first strike? How do you fight against the combination of flying and lifelink? It's just, or trample and death touch as well works pretty nice. So,
As
yeah,
long as as long as Marley doesn't swing the Falconer, the creatures can keep having flying.
yeah. And maybe figured that out here. Maybe read Bob for a kill shot. Kill shot is one of the most easy cards to read in this format, for better or for
This is
worse.
insane. That's another land.
All right, so we got a land here, which opens up the timely Horde Mate, but there's nothing in the graveyard yet, and the Utter End potentially.
Outer end will be a good one.
So yeah, pretty free attack here with the Blood-Soaked Champion. Though I was gonna say if he attacks with the Blood-Soaked Champion and the Chief of the Edge, and the Chief of the Edge gets kill shotted, then the Blood-Soaked Champion loses a power. So he decided not to attack with the Chief of the Edge. If he's reading, if he's reading for a kill shot, which I think he is, he says, "Let me not attack with the Chief of the Edge, because then my
I think so
Blood-Soaked
too.
gets eaten by a 2/3." But the good thing about that is it comes back. So now Marley's probably thinking if he wants to use his Utter End on the Bloodflies next turn. Does Bob have a feat of resistance here, or
No, it's just kill shot and 3 lands. Bob
okay?
is a firm believer. Have you subscribed to his Only Lands account yet?
Sorry?
Bob's need a bit of help here. Put it like that. He needs to
Hmm.
draw something outside of a mana source.
Yeah. All right.
I think
So
the other
Horde Mate
end would
bringing
be
back the
good.
Blood-Soaked. Yeah, this 4/4 is stopping a few things from attacking.
Yeah, I mean Bob just drew Soren, but Soren is way too many turns too late at this point.
So Soren, let's see if it can affect some change here. To -2, make a 2/2 flyer. Right now we got the land for the Wingmate Rock, so we got Utter End and Wingmate Rock in hand. So yeah, it looked like this might be a bit of a train wreck with the Malta 5 and missing the second land drop on turn 2. But we're
It's
clawing
working
back
out.
into it thanks to the flood. I mean, what's the classic? Screw beats flood, right?
That's what I've heard. I mean, so maybe Marley just doesn't care about the kill shot anymore.
I mean, with the Utter End and the Wingmate Rock, but I do think Falconer is still too valuable.
I think so too. I think I might just utter end the either the 4/4 or the Soren.
I think it's
Probably the
got.
4/4 to
I
be
feel like
honest.
it's got to be the 4/4. Soren is
I think so
attackable.
too.
Like he just has
Yeah.
more creatures. Like
This attack is a little strange to me. I feel like Marley with this attack is looking to utter end the Soren.
yeah, and maybe Bob's now. Marley has put Bob on kill shot, and Bob is realizing that he puts him on kill shot, and now he's maybe putting Marley on feet of resistance, perhaps. But as we see, that's not going to be the case. But it could be one of those I know you know how
Yeah.
I know that I have this. So why would you make that attack if you putting me on kill shot, etc., etc. So yeah, he attacked with the Falconer, which was the most valuable creature on his side by a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
So a bit surprised to
That's
see that one go. Now he's deciding between Utter End and the Wingmate Rock, which will get its raid trigger. I think he figures I could play the Wingmate Rock now, then exile the Bloodflies and have clear attacks in the skies. That
well,
seems to Seems to be the logic here.
Bob is back to only lands.
Oh well.
It's going to go for the pump and pass.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I imagine there's an utter end in the future of these flies.
It looks is Marley going to utter end the Soren?
I mean, I guess we'll have to see, but
There's
these
only two
getting rid of
lands
the
in the end. I mean, the rest of Marley's board looks pretty good. Pretty
yeah,
good.
getting rid of the blood flies means you have attacks on Soren. If you would get rid of Soren, you still have this giant flyer that you have no way to attack through. Yeah,
Yeah,
so he's come to the conclusion I think we were coming to, which is the key to killing Soren is killing that.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
Marley can just swing both rocks at Soren,
yeah,
and
they'll do it. Gain a couple
so
life, which wasn't unnecessary. Yeah, I don't know why that line of text was on the card that you get to gain life on top of everything that the card does, but here we are.
which one, Soren or the rock? Oh,
No,
oh,
the wingmate rock. So he said,
okay.
I'm throwing everything here. Let me get in. I'm gonna attack. I'm gonna kill Soren, and then I'm gonna attack you with the rest.
Let's see if Bob can dig himself out of this one.
Yeah, so nice block against the first strike there. Um, but yeah, I mean, we got 5 creatures to 1 here, and we know what's in Bob's hand, and Marley probably has figured out what's in Bob's hand
Well, Bob
since
now
he's had 2
has
cards and hasn't played anything for many turns.
right, holding on to the faith.
You're yeah. So this is probably going to be another. Does he? I mean, it's got to be an attack all here. Yeah, he just doesn't. I mean, he's gaining 5 life, right? Because he attacks with 5 creatures and gained a truckload last turn too, and now has the Abzan Guide in hand. So yeah, Bob needs a board wipe now. We know Marley hasn't end hostilities, but this is a very hostile situation that Bob is facing down right now, and that one's not going to do it.
Was not going to do it, and the flip morph is going to seal it.
So Marley is going to be the new Khan of Jeskai, and I would expect to see 2 new challengers next week if they continue in their tradition, but only time
Yes.
will tell. So congratulations to Marley, first feature match, first victory, and is the Khan. So congratulations, and we'll be back a little later with our last feature match of the night.